Over a century ago, Wainwrights in Salem fled next to found a wagon works on the site that is now the Barrel and Bullet. The wagon works consisted of several small buildings, including a stable that still stands southwest of the courtyard. Over time, a couple of small fires and a sluggish demand for conventional wagons convinced Seneca that something else was entirely called for. He allied with other refugees, built a one-story brick edifice, and started a building and loan endeavor. As they seeded money into other projects in the Fairs Corner and around town, the one-time wagon works became a popular gathering spot, and Seneca's partner, Tenrit, decided to start serving drinks. Then, when a high-profile armed robbery took Seneca's life and it bankrupted the business, a grieving Tenrit sold the shot-up building to other partners who in turn remodeled the main building into a taproom. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting why we are starting Season 2 of the All Guns, No Glory podcast. We are playing Pathfinder's 3-book adventure, The Outlaws of AlkenStar. We are in Book 2. The characters are 4th level, and exploring some options like spending the 70 gold they were paid, practicing up maybe taking another level in the archetype world, as well as getting to level 4th. We're going to chime in with them momentarily, but just so y'all remember what's going on and where we are, let's pop up the master map of AlkenStar. You guys see this? Yep. Along the coast, stretching westward, the Mana Wastes, hundreds of miles wide, north to south, separate the nations of Nex to the north, sort of Arabic Persian wizards, and Geb to the south, a land filled with all sorts of sentient undead. The Mana Wastes were caused by years of magical warfare. Ginta, Geb's Rest, the Samara Oasis, Martel, Dungenhold, where the dwarves dwelled, and the gunworks up the Eustrati River all surround the city of AlkenStar itself. The city, if you remember, has several different quarters, but is mostly divided in half by the river itself. There is Skyside, where the rich dwell, those who have built lifestyle on successful mining and mineral deposits warped by magic in the fields of the Mana Wastes, the Badlands, broken down mountains, ranges, and such. And then there's Smokeside, an never-ending smog of industrious invention, day and night. Downtrodden, but ever hopeful, turning over the newest invention, the newest bomb, the newest gun, the newest whatever, to try and carve a better life for someone with imagination. So it is no wonder that the most popular religion here in AlkenStar is Bray, the goddess of invention, wonderworks, and so forth. She is modeled as sort of a, how would I put this? Imagine a female android looking like she was made of bronze, brass, gold, but mostly, I want to say polyurethane, plaster, porcelain parts. Why, the holy symbol of Bray herself is a white mask inlaid with gold and bronze and such. She is known as the mother of invention. In Smokeside, down near the Ferris Quarter, we have the Barrel and Bullet Saloon. As earlier stated, and we will talk more about this amazing establishment, one can find all manner of interesting folk here. Guarding the door when you first come in is none other than a lithe, athletic, but not overly muscular catfolk named Aesop. Those who underestimate her in a brawl or her ability to keep the place running smoothly without too many ne'er-do-wells getting the better of the regulars never make that mistake twice. I draw your attention to two people sitting at a table, sharing a drink. One wearing deep, dark robes, hooded, glasses, leaning over a book. The other, completely not put off by the fact that he's being ignored by this patron, weaving a tale of his latest venture into the Mana Wastes. The mysterious figure continues to read, bobbing his head, as if making mental notes or perhaps listening to the story. The other is a Shuni, the pug folk, as it were, wearing a duster and a cowboy hat, who goes by the name of Alson Yemen. And that is why I never mix brandy with bullets. Huh? Finishing his story, raising a couple ice cubes in a glass towards his fellow patron sitting across from the table. Pilo Hughes.
Pilo Huesos.
Sorry, Pilo Jesus. What are you reading?
Well, I found this really, really amazing book. It's called The Undead Are Our Friends. And I've been telling that to everybody, so this book just spoke to me. And as I open up and look at these letters here, man, I'm telling you, the story they tell must be incredible, because this book is just amazing. Now, I never really learned to read too much, but it's got to be the truth, right?
May I see that?
4 gold, and you can look at it. I'll give you the 4 gold back when I get it back. I don't want to lose my book.
The pug leans as far as he can over the table and pulls a pair of spectacles himself out of his pocket and perches them, small wire gold frames on his nose, and looks down at the backwards book, trying to make sense of it. Who's the author of such a tale?
Author. Where would I find the author's name? Here, well, the title's right here in big letters, so this word under here must be the name of the guy who wrote it. This guy right here, this name, I can't read that.
You've been studying this book for hours. I bought you a drink for the company, and you cannot even read it?
Well, I am the undead, so really it's more of others should read it. But I just carry the books that people know, and I can show them. Don't be afraid of me. I'm your friend.
I like your outlook. Here, he says, pointing inside the cover. One Lester Druis.
Lester
Perhaps he is the author.
Druis. Lester Druis. Well, that is a name that I am going to remember. Leon Davis. What a great name.
He says, for the small price of another drink, I will tell you the tale of how I saved an entire printing press shop and all of its inhabitants from the mutants of the Mana Wastes.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. How about you let me lose those glasses there, because maybe they'll help me read better. And you tell the story while I look at my book with your glasses on.
That sounds fair. And he hands over his little spectacles to you.
Fair deal. And I kind of put them on with no ears, and they just fall off into my lap.
No nose, no ears. The The scene slides to a nearby window and outside to a corner of the building where all buildings have about 4 or more corners, but to a patch, let's say, less trodden, where an impromptu garden has been dug, slightly stoned around, and lovingly tended by a certain member of our party, Charwin.
Oh, here we go. I got you nice and close now.
Your little buddy standing there with his hands on his hips, just kind of shaking his head as you try to water or overwater certain amounts of mushrooms, fungus, and other things. Your little buddy looks unimpressed with your efforts.
They need lots of water. It's a desert. Stop it.
The scene slides around the back of the building where intermittent gunfire is heard. Not a shootout, but a contest where 3 desperados, one entirely made of wood and metal, all square off their skills for lame bets, shooting bottles at a range of 30 paces. I think he's cheating.
Gotta get it quiet.
Another bottle gets smashed. Yeah, you're using that eye thingy, some kind of targeting or magnifying glass. You know, my cousin is an inventor, and he has all these magnifying glasses, and he can see what's inside your spit. Not that that's marketable, but I told him, he's on to something. It's more than just burning ants for fun. But that's what that thing is. You've got a burning ant magnifying glass. Helps you see the bottle better. That's cheating.
I aim at the next bottle, and I look at him. You see I cheat. And I shoot the next bottle.
You just cock your head 9 degrees and shoot gangster style. Okay. Roll. I want to see a roll for that one, you cocky guy. That's good though.
Oh no, that's a 19 still.
No, it's good enough to hit a bottle. You only need like 15s. Right? Okay. It's not a clean hit where it's dead center smash, but you do hit the bottle. It does crack and it does fall over. Right? Anyway, other guy's like, well, a hit's a hit. The other guy forks over some meager, drink-worthy cash, and they stomp away, defeated.
Just be happy you're not on my bedside.
You showed off too quickly. You scared them away before you got any more money. With no more people to hustle. Still, your new weapon we'd like to hear about seems to serve you well.
Yes, it has a beautiful barrel, made of the finest craftsmanship. It is imbued with a slight bit of magic, gives me an extra edge.
So you were cheating. Well, maybe just a little bit.
And I'm also polishing off my new grapple gun.
Ooh, shiny. Like a Batman grapple gun?
Yeah, I got the clockwork.
Oh, nice.
15 gold.
So it's been a couple of days since you guys got the better of Shoma Lysarius. And after Dunsmith took him off your hands, and the guy, pretty much didn't want to end his life, but, figured his entire career is over. You guys have been laying low, spending your money. Is there anything you guys are interested in besides do-it-yourself gardens, practicing your skills, and a little research between the three of you? You notice Andreas has been a little sparse. I mean, he checks in with you guys. He still says he's with you and still wants to know if there's any more leads on ways you guys can stick it to Lovelace or Mugland, but he hasn't exactly been overly social as far as just in the downtime. So bumping into each other daily in and around the bolt barrel and going off into town, type of thing. Phoebe has suggested that you guys, now that your faces, shall we say, have been seen by some of the ne'er-do-wells, criminal gangs and such around town, making a name for yourself is all well and good, but you may not ever want to travel alone. Because there are so many ruffians, hoodlums, and well-do-nots that just decide they recognize you and might challenge you to some kind of duel or just try to rob you when you guys are walking down your street A to B trying to do some shopping or banking. So she strongly recommends that you guys have been, if you leave, take a buddy. And we don't mean little buddy. Well, actually, yeah, we all take the leashy and he's exhausted.
He can handle himself.
He grows into a barbarian mode again.
What about Essa? I guess she can't really leave the front door of the Golden Barrel.
She tends to nap in the back room during the day and stays up all night. She's the bouncer.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to ask Phoebe for possibly someone that she trusts just to follow you around like a mercenary or whatever, I mean, there's that. But the regulars have jobs, come here to drink and forget for half an hour to a night. They don't want another job where they follow you around doing errands and your laundry and stuff.
No,
so,
man.
that kind of thing is a little dry. But you guys have met some interesting people here. There's Nickel Burnwater, a goblin tinker, always juggling, always the life of the party. The Shuni gunslinger, Alson Yeoman, spins a wild tale and seems to have enough fact over fiction that he's pretty believable. Ursop, I wouldn't say is very sociable. She takes her job a little too seriously, but she's got a good head on her shoulders. There's Forster Dunsmith. Her cousin actually is sort of the bar's accountant, handles all the administrative work. So while she's the face and the bartender or whatever, you don't find Phoebe like buried in books, managing books or whatever. She actually has her cousin, another dwarf, Forster. Now, he's pretty much locked up in a back office all day. And again, not very sociable, but, the more time you guys spend here, the more, shall we say, the regular fixtures take on personalities. You guys start learning names. People come back, talk to you, get to know you a little bit.
Maybe I help with cooking sometime. I may not have to eat, but I still enjoy the thought of cutting an onion.
Really? Oh, hell yes. Funny enough, the food here is actually really good. Now, not only do we have, thanks to our druid, a garden to enjoy, and there's shooting gallery in the back, there's what they also call a bullet works. There is like a room, warehouse, and table fully stocked for amateur adventurers that they can rent out, silver piece an hour, or a gold piece a day to work on an invention or fix their gun, or that kind of thing. So if you don't mind paying a small fee, Valentine, you want to do some self repairs, or if you want to tweak your guns, that type of thing, right? You can use her bullet works and she'll probably give you a deal, but there's literally like a repair shop without having to retreat through a secret door and bug Valshan and the inventor with their sort of secret lab they got going on, right?
Okay.
There's full course meals, spice cakes, stew, Astrati oysters, right? And then famous drinks. Dunsmith's Dram. Flaming whiskey is quite the thing. It literally has magical effects. Gear Greaser, Ghostly Wainwright, Grenader's Revenge, and Smokeside Sour are all very popular drinks that the toughest, roughest, and I'll have a flaming whiskey. They always yell it. So the whole bar knows that they're going to drink this shit. I'll take a couple Gear Greasers. Oh, Ghostly Wainwright for me. They always tell the entire bar every time when they order one of these favorite drinks. And they range from 2 copper pieces all the way up to 2 silver pieces, depending on how nasty and how expensive the ingredients for these things are. And yes, flaming whiskey is literally set on fire like a dram buoy and set on a table in a tumbler with a little cactus stuck on the side of it like a lemon. A deep amber-looking liquid.
Probably smells delicious.
So many beards catch on fire.
Something else some people, even the bravest of alchemists, do, they mix drinks. And rolling a d20 can possibly get you certain effects. Some are extreme stomach cramps. Some are a bit of luck and temporary hit points for 8 hours. Always a risk. But if you're brave enough to sit here long enough and start sampling multiple drinks, from Dunsmith's Dram to Ghostly Wainwright, you might find some interesting side effects in your future. If you're a gambling man.
Wonder if I pour it on my automaton core, if it would absorb somehow.
Or a pilot who took a shot and it just goes through him, would it still work? Sure, a pilot would try it. Pilot would be like, I want one of those. Oh, that's fun. He'd be probably all over that.
Do poisons affect you? Alcohol is considered poison.
Yes.
Then yeah, you may not stick it in your mouth, but there might be some sort of invert port, lubrication port, or something that you can IV it into, or just dump it in instead of oil, and away we go till your body burns it off, discharges it. He's got those vent flaps at the back that just intermittently let out steam at really rude times. Remember those last season?
I was going to say, I think there was an episode where I drank something, actually.
So, any other personal business or shopping? Let's talk about some of the things you guys bought, starting with Valentine.
So yeah, the +1 dueling pistol, the clockwork grappling gun, Batman grapple.
Okay. And what about leveling? What did you take a level in? Fourth level.
No, hold on. I got a thieves toolkit, and I bought some elemental ammunition.
Oh yeah.
It just says elemental ammunition, so I would just come up with what type of element.
Yes. So it's probably generic where you choose if it's cold, heat, electrical, and the base extra damage is that one element.
Yeah. It's it's technically an alchemical thing. So whatever ingredients you use would create that specific type. So if I bought them, they would already be made by an alchemist.
Yes, yeah, you can't suddenly announce I want cold today. No, you need to write those down up front on your character.
Yeah,
I would suggest maybe a couple shots of each element that you could, get.
I only bought three bullets because they're not cheap.
Okay. Well, fire is always good.
Yeah,
cold. Electricity.
Yeah, I bought one fire, one cold, and one poison or something.
Acid is usually another really good one.
Yeah. Fire, cold, and acid. And then I am level 4. And
level 4 or what?
Gunslinger Ranger.
Okay. So you took a second level you took Ranger archetype?
Yeah.
Because you get one at second, you get another one at fourth?
Yeah.
So the first one kind of gets you on the path of Ranger. The second one, I'm assuming you start taking actual Ranger feats, maybe?
Yeah, I grabbed the feat I grabbed is basic hunter's trick, which gives you a first or second level Ranger feat.
Okay.
Which I think I chose running reload for that, or quick draw.
Okay. Sounds cool. We can do the classic, in the moment reveal. I'm going to use my new feat, and we can get in discussing exactly what it does. I was just kind of looking for a glossary. Let's move on to Charwin out in the garden.
Ooh, my garden. Items. Let's see. I got a healing potion minor, and then I bought this was a little while ago, but I have a little feather token for a feather token ladder.
Oh, instant ladder. That's cool.
Yep, just in case. And then I bought a couple of odds and ends that I can't talk about.
So next
Maybe,
time
like,
you guys want to,
slowly climbing my grappling hook while
yeah,
he's just like going up the ladder.
you do the
really
Batman
like to work
shot and he
hard, don't you?
starts repelling, and you just see this ladder go up beside him. How's it going?
Where'd that come from?
Okay. Now you do have an archetype, though it's still a bit of a secret, so we won't elaborate that too much. I will give you guys a hint. There are some times where Phoebe will take Charwin into the back, or you never see him; he's gone, and then you'll see him emerging from the back room, and then Phoebe a while later, and like she's had a private talk with him or a meeting or possibly a dalliance. You guys don't know. But usually when she talks to you guys, it's just, hey, you're a regular. And she talks loudly to you right over the bar. When we talk business and shop and spy stuff, everyone all together in the back private room. And then she lays out a mission or an update or whatever, right? Or she meets you guys in the lab. But there's been a couple of times where you guys have seen Charwin over the last day or two just sort of emerge from the back, and then Phoebe a minute later. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Which brings us to Pilo, our new librarian.
Oh, man. Well, I purchased our wonderful book, The Undead Are Our Friends. And I also purchased 3 Oils of Unlife. So I have 4 total, 1 on me. And every time I would see one of our buddies, either Charwin or Valentine or whoever I'd run into, hey, just want you to know, I bought this for you. And I'd hand one to them, and it's an Oil of Unlife. If anything ever happens to me and I'm looking like I'm more dead than normal, just give me one of these so I can be a little less dead and more undead. And I'd go hand out one of those to all my buddies so that they'd know, use this for me to keep me alive or undead.
Okay.
And that's all that I had bought. Not too much else. Harlow probably spent his time just kind of laying around as a skeleton, people watching. He'd take his clothes off, of course, because you're just a skeleton. So if there's a spot where it looked like a skeleton would probably be, he'd probably just go lay down with that and watch the people of the city, kind of learn and observe. Try to be a little less standoutish.
There's been a little bit of rattle and prattle from the tavern regulars that, like, you don't drink, right? So what are you kind of doing here? You took the stage once, and Phoebe says, you know, as long as he warms a chair and pays money to do so, he's a paying patron and defends you. So she claims that you're like buying table space, just like renting a workshop. If he wants to sit there and read for a copper an hour, shut the hell up. He doesn't need to drink. It's my place, and they quiet down. But once in a while, new people come in and it's like, what the hell's with the undead dude? He doesn't drink. Like, you know, we don't like your kind around here. You know, get a little bit of trouble. No one really shows you that much favoritism. They sort of generically defend you like any other patron. Even SUP will come over and say, is there a problem? You know, patrons shouldn't be fighting patrons. Let's have a brand. And they're always, within 3 days, is a nice, big, downright, drag-out brawl where you guys get to see SUP's martial arts. And she mops the place. Right? But, you know, you guys say thanks or any compliments, and she's pretty cold and stiff. And it's like, as long as you guys are paying for drinks or paying to be here, you're treated like anybody else. She doesn't seem to show any favoritism, you know, as it should be. I mean, Phoebe is trying to run a little bit of a spy operation for a certain countess that we all technically now work for, you know, keep it on the down low. And you guys need to fit in as regular schlebs that are just here trying to make your, you know, AlkenStar Los Angeles / acting / inventor dreams come true, right?
One of my feats that I took actually was quick disguise to kind of help out the group and stand out a little less. So I can actually create a disguise in 1/10 of the usual time, about 1 minute. If I'm a master in deception, I can create a full disguise and impersonate as 3 actions. So right now, I created a disguise in 1 minute to kind of immerse myself in the city. And again, being a people watcher, that's what he was doing. He was laying there watching the people, learning kind of what to do to blend in better. That's kind of
Yeah,
his
and
line
you
for that
you would
scene.
also you would do well coming back with more than just the old joke of the black robes and ta-da, I'm all bony, like some sort of disguise, whether you're wearing a mask or
The nose with the
or-
glasses or something, anything like
yeah, something like that, just to kind of hang around the bar and people just kind of leave you alone, and then they come up. Yeah,
And
that's
if it
fine.
really
That
became
works.
a problem, then I do have I still have the spell of humanoid appearance, whatever it was here.
No, the disguise would work well enough where you'd look like some mysterious person that doesn't want to be left alone, and everybody knows that the gunslinger Valentine is a compatriot of yours, that Phoebe takes your money just to sit and read or whatever you want to do. Do you still take the stage, or are you going for more of a low profile? Like
think
even if
if
you
there was
leave
a
and came
night that
back
you-
in a different disguise.
I think if there's a night that'd be appropriate, he might probably try to find a certain disguise that would suit a performer of his stature, and then
Sure.
kind of go up on the stage and sing a song or give some offbeat undead poetry or something. A Paolo thought would fit in with the city.
You open for the next volume, the next chapter of Boots and Hearts, and like they're all, so the place is packed and everybody wants to see Boots and Hearts, the drama, come in there, and the whole place just goes quiet, and there's just the one guy, like the announcer, coming up thanking you, going, thank you for that interesting hour lecture, looking to Phoebe / poetry on
Thank you. This was my
Gebian
TED Talk.
society. Yeah. Exactly. Now, don't go away. Boots and Hearts will start next 10 minutes. Drinks are we're happy hour, and all the winds back up.
But he would probably do
Okay.
it more of a disguise, just to be less, out
Yeah,
there. But
yeah.
I think a lot of the regulars would know that it's Pilo because he's there all the time. He doesn't go in disguise all the time. He'd be skeleton some days, disguise other days, but kind of off the
You
road.
you never change your voice.
Not even
Right.
close. No, you can think of that.
Yeah. This is a guy with a mustache. Yeah, hi guys, I'm the inventor.
Mhm.
That's funny. Let's talk about you leveling to 4th level.
Me?
Yeah. More.
As I said, I did take the 1 feat there for quick disguise to help with my my allies there getting around situations sometimes better. I also took a multifarious muse, which allows me to go into other not dedications. What is the I can go into other feats, so I can take other different. Where are they here? You gain 1st level. Another muse, so I can use other muses, so I can go into other branches of bard. That way, I can kind of expand my character.
Yes. Yeah, when you first level bard, you pick a muse, and it sort of challenges you into a type of show business, let's say.
Mhm.
And now you've taken multifarious, where you're really the jack of all trades and to dabble in all of them. That's very cool. That's actually very versatile. Let's talk about your secret archetype.
Is that me? Yes,
Yeah.
that would be the archetype that I took at 3rd level. I think you let us take that was the where did it go?
Oh, second.
Or second. Sorry, yeah. It was we've used it quite a few times already. I took where is it? I'm trying to find it here on my sheet. What it's called?
The Reanimator dedication.
Reanimator. That's right. Yeah. So eventually that will allow me to do ritual spells to create undead companions.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure exactly the whole things to it yet because I think it requires a couple more levels to really get working, but it does allow.
Okay, so
me
there,
to use,
there possibly is not really like 4th level feats available to this
yeah,
dedication.
there are no
they're
fourth
higher level feats.
available. Yes, 6th level is the next feat I can take, but it did allow me to make. It did allow me to make animate dead one of my signature spells, so I can cast that more consistently.
Yeah, a lot of people confuse archetype with multi-classing, where it's 2, 4, 6, 8. There are archetypes that bake into your character at 1st. There are some that you start at 2nd, and you don't even get the next feat till 8th because the power climb steep is just off the scale. And you're taking one of those, so that's very cool. Okay, I have how about a quick firing bonus round? Pull up your main page, guys. Okay, so I'll ask a question. We'll go Speigler's Valentine, then Andrew, Charwin, then Pilo, and we'll just go in that order, okay? What are your new hit points, guys?
48.
Also 48.
46.
How about your saving throws? Like,
9, 12, and 9.
and that's reflex, fort, and will?
Fort, reflex, will. Reading from the top down.
Okay.
Yep.
Charlie?
I've got 9 fortitude, 7 reflex, and 12 will.
I have 7 fortitude, 11 reflex, and 10 will.
It's going to grow that garden willpower alone with a 12. Grow, damn you. Cool. Just to give the dice loving, audience the
He gets this character sheet.
the hard facts. Yeah. We'll have to post these. We do have on our Discord. We do have a character sheet reveal, and we never use it. Constantly, I got to get screenshots or something and do some updates. Now, ready or not, here we come. You guys have spent some money. You guys have lived the life for a couple days, got into your own stuff, but sooner or later, and without Andreas, without Gauze, and there's been a couple of times where you guys have seen what you could only describe as a befuddled looking wizard come in the front door, look around, and literally vanish. And then the next day, he comes in again around the same time, comes to the middle of the tap room, looks around, you blink, and he's just gone. And the third day, he comes in, makes his way, looks around, gets to the middle of the room, looks around again like he's looking for someone, spots Phoebe, goes to her at the bar, sits down, she leans in, and again, just blink of an eye, vanishes. And now we're on the fourth day, and Phoebe has pulled you guys into our secret little back room. And after a round of drinks and pouring herself one in sort of an exasperated sigh, she seems a little less cheerful than our last mission around and addresses you about the current situation. Well, I have another problem that needs solving, and I think it'll be right up your alley. The gunslinger bartender sighs, goes back over to the bar, and for dramatic effect, slowly, whiskey over the rocks, takes a big gulp, puts it down, looks at the bottle as if lost in thought, and then looks up from the bottle across the room. It pays well, and I'll get you even closer to your score being settled with your old friends, Ambrose Mugland and Deputy Angelique Lovelace, she says, raising an eyebrow. Last night, we got reports of a flying clockwork monster spotted over Hammer Street, over in the Ferris Quarter. It flew over the Estrade, due east, before leaving the city entirely. She comes over to the table where you guys sit, where a map already spread out and indicates a general area on the map of AlkenStar before you, reiterating her words only by tracing it with her finger. One of the sentries at AlkenStar Castle got a good look of it, on tour night, and said it was a clockwork cat with big bronze wings, and somebody was riding it like a steed. We checked with the Temple of Bry, the goddess of clockworks. They keep a tight rein on which clockworks get made in AlkenStar and which projects get shelved, never make it off paper. Turns out nobody's filled the paperwork for any clockwork cats, especially of that size. Outside, we hear Estrid sneeze.
Is there another crazy inventor somewhere in Smokeside? That's got to be where that is from.
She looks at you like, you're serious, right? Place full of them. We love your naivete. Yes, she says, but turns out no one's filled out paperwork. According to the Briats, there's just one obvious suspect. Dunsmith slides a charcoal sketch across the table. The sketch shows a gaunt-faced man with bushy hair, thin lips, a broad nose, and a very intense stare. Now, lucky for you, and for our video audience, I actually have a picture of the man. Just imagine that This is like a charcoal sketch of a guy. Just zoom right in here. The face. Bushy hair, dark skin, big glasses, some sort of chainwork headpiece with cogs on it, wearing a cloak, sort of robes that are the pale cream and gold trim that all the Briates of Clockwork Mother herself wear, with a pale blue pants and tunic underneath. Big workman's glove. You know how like all inventors always have those gauntlet gloves that have the come up to like almost the wrist, you know, like almost like oven mitts type of gloves. She lets you look at the picture and then tells you the name. Olaman Kolaswana. That's Olman Kosowana.
Whoa,
Olaman.
slow down with the letters there. Could you say them a little slower? And I'm trying to write them down on a piece of paper, and it's just random lines and scribbles.
She comes over and almost pats you on the shoulder, not quite really touching the skeleton. Olaman Kosowana. And she helps you with your letters like a mom. She leans in. Yeah, that's the K. You know, like obviously someone's been taking writing lessons. Phoebe, this is what Phoebe and him do in their spare time. That's not a K. One of the church's former primary cogs, the second highest rank one can attain within the Briite priesthood. A real whiz with clockworks, apparently, plus anything else he sets his mind to. Curious to a fault, you might say. He was booted from the church, she says, eyeing the door, just in case, our certain dwarven one-armed clockwork friend is listening or comes riding in. You guys always wondered what happened to Andreas. I mean, he is a cleric of Briite, but he doesn't want to go there and doesn't really want to talk about it. He was booted from the church a while ago for breaking protocol and promoting heretical conspiracy theories. Last time anyone saw him in public was our old friend Vashon Gadaby's Pyronite demonstration. He was there at that. She looks around the room at you, raising her eyebrows meaningfully at a bunch of mechanical, skeletal, and not really paying attention, looking at the window as garden faces, sighs again. Karasana kept a low profile till recently, doing his own thing at his workshop in the Ferris Quarter, she says, thumbing at the window. I guess there's no window in the secret room. It's a painting of a window. Charwin painted a window with flowers on it, just to brighten up the room, right? We got a few complaints from neighbors of loud booms coming from the workshop, but nothing serious. Well, that same night, sentries saw the flying clockwork cat. One of Kawasakana's neighbors says he saw the old man himself fleeing the premises. Some gun-toting goons in pursuit. Sounds like one of the local gangs broke into the place and our man hightailed it out of there. Now, here's where it gets interesting. One of the robbers matches the description of our old friend, Ambrose Mugland, which I don't think until this point I have ever shown you guys a picture of our little friend. This is Mugland. He really looks like Doc Holliday, like Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday, only a halfling. Doesn't he?
It's a
Doc Weekend Getaway.
Yeah.
Sean Connery, a gnome blonde Sean Connery.
Yeah, there you go. But he is a halfling. And of course, over here we have Loveless with her strange silvery hair and two different colored eyes, with a rifle and a crack shot, and almost caught you guys if you hadn't taken the sewers that day.
Caught us in the wasteland when she was going after us, and the cat knocked over the pile and freed Pilo Hoisos.
So, Mugland was seen chasing Olaman.
Yeah. Well, someone fit his description, but I'll bet copper to silver that it was him. Dunsmith starts pacing the room, clasping her hands behind her back, and turns around to study the Wisco bodies once again lining the walls. Maybe it's a coincidence that Mugland failed to capture Gadaby, leads a gang of toughs to grab this Karasana guy just a few nights later. But I don't believe in coincidences, so I want you to check it out. Out of nowhere, sleight of hand, she drops a coin sack on the table that lands with a very satisfying clink of coins.
Holy shit, where did that come from?
The Rain Man program in Valentine tells you there's 200 gold in there. His little eyes go to dollar signs. I want you to go search Karasana's workshop. Talk to this neighbor. The priest of the Temple of Brai will have the address. Meanwhile, while you're at the temple first, maybe see about looking into whatever heretical poppycock that got Karasana in hot water in the first place with the Breites might give us some clues as to where he went. At any rate, she leans in for the stage whisper. The Duchess wants you to find him before Muglin does. Ensure his safety and find out what he knows. If he managed to figure out the Pyronite formula, bring him here so we can keep him safe.
Oh man, not another Gaddaby.
I wonder if this one's got a big lizard thing too. Was it a lizard? What did that guy have? It was a lizard, wasn't it?
Yeah, the lizard. Yep. Well, this says a robot, right? Chonk, chonk, chonk.
Yeah, well, it's not that much fun. Lizards are
It's a little bit more complicated. Last time you guys went to an address and just had to retrieve a guy and shenanigans. They want you to go to the church, find out about him, talk to them about what he did, what got him booted, then go to his warehouse that he fled, talk to the neighbor, search the warehouse for clues, and see if you can put something together where the hell he went to. Go there, if you can figure it out, find him, and if he knows too much, bring him back.
You know,
we have to do all that before Muglin finds him.
Yeah, and Muglin's already chasing him. Any questions?
I think it's all crystal clear from you.
Kind of would like those steps again so I can write them all down here in my notebook.
Don't worry, I got it all down for you, Philo.
Perfect.
Just follow my lead.
In the reality, I was actually creating a note here on our thing so we could actually write it. There's a lot of stuff, and I don't remember half of it.
Yeah, like I said, I took it down. Don't worry.
Excellent. Thanks, buddy. Your robot brain works well worse than mine does.
There's like a sweep shovel and broom, and he's just dragging the coin purse into like a chest compartment. After that.
If there's nothing else, Phoebe, then we should probably get started.
That's spirit. That's what I like to hear. Any other questions, gentlemen?
What if he doesn't know too much? Do we just leave him there?
What if he doesn't want to come with us, nicely?
In a slightly uncharacteristic moment, she looks Charon right in the eye, lowers her voice, and speaks to everyone, answering his question, but possibly more specifically to him alone. I'll leave that to your discretion.
All right. Off to the Church of Bree.
Well, I'll get Andreas as well, or do you think he could probably help us there? We'll have to find him on the way. I have no idea where that guy went to.
You guys can pick up Andreas on your way. I know where he might be. No guarantees there. And no guarantee you're going to talk him into re-entering the very church he was kicked out of because of Mugland. But
nobody tell him where we're going. Just tell him to come with us.
I can make him a nice disguise. Maybe he can get in that way. We'll figure it out.
Oh
There's
my
lots of
gosh,
time.
Pilo, that is the greatest idea I think I've ever heard you come up with.
Greatest idea I've ever... Come on, man. I've had lots of great ideas. I keep trying to tell everybody to be a skeleton. That's the best idea ever.
Oh, and there he goes. He ruins it again.
Sorry. I'll calm it down. I'm trying to hold it in.
This is one of the best disguises right there. Turn him into a skeleton.
That's the smartest thing you've ever said there, Charwin.
Makes the Pylo Jesus disguise. So you got Ambrose looking like a dwarven skeleton, right? And you see the bear mechanical arm. He's like, I don't like this.
Then upgrade his.
Oh, what fun.
Couldn't find his arms with the clockwork one on.
Hey, Eric, for not showing up tonight, your penalty is thus.
You now have to be Pylo.
You have to be Pylo, the dwarven skeleton.
And you have to let Pylo be you.
There you go. So, gathering your gear, what money you have left on you, stashing here or in some secret place things that you do not want to have on your person, gentlemen, you head out under the noonday sun and bringing up the map once again of the city of AlkenStar, we must turn our direction, I believe, south towards the Bree Temple, which is across the river on Skyside. But first, a stop to pick up our
Andreas.
lost friend, Andreas. Question is, does he want to be seen by you? He's been gone the entire downtime, conducting his own business. A little bit more on that in a few episodes. But for now, we will see you all next time.